So first things first, I just want to start off with Hulk Gray. There's a lot of local places near where I live, mainly McKay's, but one of the other stores we checked out, me and my girlfriend, while we were out and about on the weekend was, I can't remember the name of the store, but it's a new place in the Hamilton Place Mall that had some decently priced books, but this McKay's is where it's at. You'll get stupid low prices on anything you buy there. I got the first appearance of Gore for $2, if that tells you anything. But Hulk Gray is by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. I'm collecting anything they do now because my friend Ryder held me at gunpoint to start reading more DC books, and he gave me a whole stack of stuff I need to read through. That sounds like I'm not excited. I'm excited. In fact, the first thing I read, and the only thing I've read so far, was Batman The Long Halloween by these two. And I fell in love with Tim Sale's artwork. My girlfriend says his artwork looks a little strange, but it's okay to have wrong opinions. Just kidding, I love you. But, yeah, I found a few of these. I got number 1. Number 3. Number 5. And number 6. Great comic. I've read number 1 and 2 so far, but obviously I plan on reading the rest. Even though 2's not in there, it is later on in this video because I did find it somewhere else. Next we got Man-Thing. I think from volume 4. Written by I'm not even gonna try. Kyle Hotz and Hans Rodionov. Shouldn't have tried. But this, I believe, it's Marvel Knights. I love Man-Thing. He was awesome in Werewolf by Night on Disney+. Check it out if you haven't seen it. But I just really like this character. Me and my buddy Ryder argue who's better, Swamp Thing or Man-Thing. And I know I have, to many people, the wrong opinion on this, but Man-Thing takes it by far and away to me. I'm collecting, Grant Morrison's Swamp Thing. So I'll get around to reading Swamp Thing, but I just really like Man-Thing. His design, even though he's fucked up looking compared to what he normally looks like in this. I think this is written by the guy who did the not so well-received movie in the 2000s. So hopefully it's not that shitty to read. We'll find out. Next, we got a weird one. I don't know why I'm collecting it, but it just is so, when something's so weird that it just draws me in, I have to get it. And look, it's about monkeys. It's about Marvel monkeys. Marvel Apes, number 4. That's an homage to the death of Captain America. And honestly, I do like the cover. But yeah, got that. And this, I'm pretty sure I had already, and I didn't realize it, but it was like 75 cents. The Thanos Imperative number 1. There could be something important about it. I know it's not this one, but one of them is the one-shot first appearance of the Annihilators. And then next, we have some Thunderbolts. Number 114. I am a huge Moon Knight fan, and I read Warren Ellis's Moon Knight run the other day. His short, 6 issues that he did on the title, and it was fucking awesome. It is some of my favorite issues I've ever read, let alone Moon Knight. And so now I'll make sure if I see something, and I've thought about picking up Thunderbolts before, but when I saw Ellis on there, I knew I had to start collecting these. So there's number 114. 116. I also just really like Penance. I'm both a Speedball and a Penance fan. I know they're divided. I know y'all argue with each other all the time, but they're both cool. You know, why not? I hate that they can't be two separate characters on their own, but I mean, I'll take either. I'm fine with both. And then 117. Next, we have. These are so cheap when you find when I'm at McKay's and I'm just looking for them. This was 75 cents. X-Statix #4. You can never go wrong with Mike Allred. His artwork's great. I love Jack Kirby, therefore I love Mike Allred and several other. Mike Mignola, I like his artwork. Even though I've not read anything by Mignola yet, I collect them when I see them for real cheap. I've read some of the beginning issues of X-Force. It was awesome. So obviously I got to get the rest now, and I would have anyway because of the artwork. But X-Statix #4. And then some things I just collect because other people talk about how good they are. I'm a big fan of Comic Book Herald, and one of his high recommendations that he talks about on his podcast is Agents of Atlas. And I also just love weird teams. I love weird teams. So I think that's like a robot. I forget his name. I don't know who that is. Maybe there's a cover that shows more people on it from the team. But it's just like Gorilla Man's on the team. Namora is on the team. Or Namorita. They're pretty much interchangeable in my mind. I hope that's not a cardinal sin to say. But concept for the team's really cool. I love when people take forgotten characters and give them a name. Like a good run. I think every character deserves it. And I've been slowly piecing these together. They're really cheap when you can find them. That was probably like... Well, no, this was at the place in the shop. I probably paid like $2 or $3 for this, but worth it still. And then #6, there's Gorilla Man. The reason anyone should buy this book, and I think Marvel Man, or well, I don't know his name. He's in here as well. Namor is also one of my favorite characters ever, so it's cool to see him on the cover of that. Next, this is the last issue I needed of this run. Banner. Corbin is something, as an artist, I found I would never have even thought I would like an artist style like this. And then watching cartoonist Kayfabe, rest in peace Ed Piskor, I just was really enamored by the way they were talking about his art, and then I just suddenly got it. I wanted to start getting anything that he had done after that, and this is the last issue I needed. This was, I think this was a 25-cent, but no, again, at the thing, I probably paid like $2 for it. But now I've got all of those. This is another recommendation from Comic Book Herald. I love Nick Fury, and I didn't even know this was a Nick Fury book until I read his top 100 Marvel comics, or whatever the list was. And I've been slowly piecing them together. They're mainly pretty cheap. I paid $3 for this one, just because I only need 2 more issues. This is one of the last issues that I needed. And so I've been reading through it while I'm on breaks at work, and I've been really enjoying it so far. Love Nick Fury. They really write him like a badass in this. Jonathan Hickman's writing it. You can't go wrong with Jonathan Hickman almost ever. And then a weird one. I only need 1 more issue after this one, even though it's just a 3-part series. It's Union Jack #3. Don't ask me why. Union Jack's awesome. I think his design's great. I just really like the character. I actually did get his first appearance at Dragon Con. Bring that a little closer. I did get his first appearance at Dragon Con, but couldn't get his first cover appearance. They thought that his first cover appearance was his first appearance, so I got his actual first appearance for really cheap. I had to pass on the cover appearance. So it sucks, but found this for, I think, $3. And all of these I'm now realizing were part of the grab I did at the mall. If you got 10 books, they took $10 off, so why wouldn't you do that? There's only one book in here that's mixed in with the rest for whatever reason. But these are the last two I got. I'm a huge Jason Aaron fan after I read his Punisher run. Loved his Punisher run. Probably in my top 5 Marvel reads I've ever done or have ever read. And I'm not even I like Thor. He's not my absolute favorite, but I've heard so much about this run. Gore the God Butcher is just an awesome character. And if there's anyone I'm going to trust to make it a good run, it's Jason Aaron. So I got number 15 and number 21. Oh, a little bit of a tilt. Number 21. Next, this was at a shop called Infinity Flux. I got Spider-Man, The Mutant Agenda number 0. I am not an avid Spider-Man collector, even though when I was young, I got so many Spider-Man issues that you could swear I would be a Spider-Man fan now. It's just not the case. I know he's most people's favorite, but this one was weird. I got it. Sorry if that's just the most awful noise ever. But if you look, it says the first ever comic book newspaper strip crossover, and I was like, what the fuck does that mean? And I opened it up. Shit. It's like, let's get a better look on that. Actual comic strips, and they look like they're taped in. They're not even like really in there. Like you'll see them kind of pop up here and there, but the whole thing's like this. And each page came with, I don't know if these were added in later, but they had the actual strips in them as well. Just very strange, very cool. I got it for $1. And when I opened it up to look inside of it to see what it was about, I was like, I have to get that. I don't know why I want it so much, but I have to have it. And then these next two are McKay's. Got Hulk Gray number 2. So I've already talked about why I'm getting these, but this was at a different shop, so I put it in its own separate pile for whatever reason. But yeah, there's Hulk Gray number 2. And then these next few are, I've heard great things about this series from a lot of people basically, but I don't go out of my way to get them. But at McKay's, they were only 25 cents a piece. So I couldn't really pass them up at that point. Got Astonishing X-Men number 10. Number 11. Number 12. Number 15. And number 21. So when I get enough to start reading it, I'm definitely going to check it out. Next, for just 20 cents, we got some Ed Brubaker Captain America. I've read Ed Brubaker's Immortal Iron Fist run. I've read all that he wrote of it, then I kept reading it, still reading it. Really like that series, so I've heard, when I hear amazing things about anything else he's done, for 20 cents, how am I not going to get it? So I got number 37 and 42. Little Arnim Zola. Some Red Skull action there. Next, for I think $2.50, I got one of the last issues of this series I needed. Again, Jason Aaron's running the show. I'm not going to get it. But Doctor Strange, number 3. I don't know what volume it is. Great cover. I don't know who the cover artist for that is. But yeah, if you don't know if you like a character, but you know you like a writer or an artist, try to find what all they've done, and you might find a character that you've been meaning to get into, but haven't really gotten the chance to or really wanted to. And it could persuade you into trying it out. Next, for 75 cents, I got Shadowland Electro, the one-shot. Not really trying to collect all the Shadowland stuff, although all of the like spin-off miniseries have characters I really enjoy, and I'm more of like a character collector. Like if I have a character I really like, I will go out of my way to try to get all of the stuff all the books they have, if I can find them for cheap. And you can find Electra books for really cheap. So I got Shadowland Electra, number 1. Great cover, too. Again, with the characters, I love Iron Fist a lot. And I read the first issue of this when it came out. Did not like it, so I didn't get the rest. But I was like, if I can find them for cheap, which in this case I did. Iron Fist, Heart of the Dragon, number 4. 75 cents. So it's better than paying the $4 when it came out, I would say. Next, Jack Kirby's Galactic Bounty Hunters, number 5. If it's got Jack Kirby artwork, I've not checked inside to see if it actually has Jack Kirby artwork. But if I even see a cover by Jack Kirby, I'm probably going to buy it. His artwork's iconic. It's amazing. It's what got me into comics as a kid. I have a ton of Jack Kirby books that he's worked on. I'm pretty sure there's a Fantastic Four issue down there on my little bookshelf. But Galactic Bounty Hunters number 5. Back to that Man-Thing series. I paid $2 for this. The number 1, that's how I knew who the writer was, by the writer of the upcoming Marvel film, which there's only one Man-Thing Marvel film. So I did the math on that, and I think it could be the one that no one likes. The only one that no one likes. But again, hopefully it's better. He really just messed up Man-Thing's design. Maybe he was going for something. I don't know. Next, a team that seems... I like Speedball, like I said. I think Night Thrasher looks cool. I think most of this team looks cool. Have I read anything that they've been in yet? Nope. But they're really cheap when you find them, so I've been piecing them together. And I got New Warriors, I think Volume 3, number 2. And I like really cartoony styles. I like that cover. I really like it. I don't know why Speedball's an ape. I don't know why he was in Marvel Apes. Maybe they connect. Who knows? But there's number 2 for 75 cents. And then for 90 cents, I love Nova. So I think this is volume 3, number 2. And look, Eric Larson doing the artwork. I haven't read any of Savage Dragon. I have the original miniseries, and I've been planning on reading it. So His artwork doesn't necessarily speak to me, but he did a Nova book. And Savage Dragon seems like he would be awesome. So, for 90 cents, gotta get it. Next is Thanos, A God Up There Listening, number 3. 25 cents. You know, why not? I find a lot of Thanos books for cheap, which I wouldn't think would be the case, but it is most of the time, and I couldn't tell you why, but I get drawn to them every time I see Thanos and then a cheap little under dollar price tag on something. So, had to get it. Next, 2 books. I already had one of them, didn't know. But I will get anything Beta Ray Bill related. There's Stormbreaker number 1 up on there. But Thor Corps is a team, I think from the 90s, that he was involved with other Thors. This is the issue I already have. And then this next one, number 4. Very strange. I didn't know much about Beta Ray Bill, and then I read Daniel Warren Johnson's run as it was coming out, and then I had to pick up everything Beta Ray Bill, because that is also in my top 5 Marvel comics ever, even though it's a miniseries. It's fantastic. Next, here comes more Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. This was the one that was mixed in with the rest. I bought it for $5, but you know, what can you do? It's worth it. Superman, for all seasons, number 1. I am not a Superman fan by any reason. I have often said I hate Superman, but I know I've been collecting All-Star Superman because I hear a lot about it. And then I found this book. I found an issue at Dragon Con for $1. I was like, oh, that's sick. I'm gonna find more of these. And sure enough, they had book 1. So, beautiful artwork. He doesn't have funny artwork. He has great artwork. It's amazing. Next, we've got some more Agents of Atlas, number 3. Great cover. Cool characters. Nothing else to say. Next, most Rick Remender stuff I'm going to get, especially if it's just $1. And I've been piecing this series together. There's very few issues I need left. But Black Science, issue number 31. And Matteo Scalera, I did not know who he was until my buddy introduced me to the Ink Pulp podcast. His artwork's amazing. It's so sick. He's a cool guy. That podcast is awesome. Anyone who aspires to be an artist or a writer for comics should definitely watch that podcast. But look at that artwork, man. It's so sick. So sick. And that's not the only issue I got. I got number 33. Don't know what's going on in these covers because I'm not read it yet. But I'm definitely planning on it. Number 34. All for $1 a piece, so can't go wrong with that. And then also for $1 a piece, I thought I didn't have cover A's to some of these. I thought I only had variants before I became very strict on only getting cover A's for series. So, I mean, for $1 a piece, it doesn't bother me too much. I needed cover A for, I think, number 3 or it was number 4. But this series is awesome. Wind. Great series. If you've not checked it out, they have 2 miniseries separately. One is, I believe, 8 issues and one was 4. But James Tynion IV, amazing writer. Michael I'm going to butcher this, Dialanis. Awesome artist. Great artist. Number 3. And number 4. Super fun fantasy tale. If you like Bone, you'll probably like Wind. Or if you like, what was that Scotty Young one? Twig. If you like Twig, you'll like that. Next, all these were either 25 cents or I think at most 50 cents. Got Stillwater number 3. I've heard great things about it. I've not read enough Chip Zdarsky to really form an opinion on any of his work, but I hear so much good about him that, and I love horror, so he has 2 horror books that I'm kind of piecing together for really cheap when I see them, Stillwater being one of them. You're about to see the other one. Next, The Sixth Gun, number 50. Thick book. I heard the concept about The Sixth Gun and was like, I don't even care if it's good or not. That is such a cool concept that I want to try to find the rest, like all of them. So there's number 50. Look how thick that is. And then Oblivion Song, number 15. And number 19. Written by Robert Kirkman, who, if none of you know, wrote The Walking Dead, Invincible, Firepower. He is just a master at making comic books that get picked up eventually or sold off to become some of the greatest shows ever. He's obviously a great writer. I'm reading through the Invincible compendiums, which I never buy in compendiums, but I always get single issues, but I made a special exception for Invincible because the hardcovers look so cool. But yeah, these all look cool. I don't know what they're about, but I'm going to find out eventually. And we got Madman Atomic Comics number 7. Mike Allred. I have a lot of Madman issues. I've read a couple of them. They're pretty good. Writing's a little zany, not like very, very, very Kirby-esque, like Kirby Stan Lee times. But I mean, his design's awesome, so I get them when I can. Speaking of, Madman Comics number 15. I think that's after the Atomic Comics run. I'm not sure. But obvious buy for how cheap it was. And then finally, I thought this was Chip Zdarsky. Never mind, this is a Jeff Lemire book. Another one that I'm kind of iffy on. Gideon Falls, number 25 for 25 cents. Heard it's a good horror series for 25 cents. Why not? I hate to end on that, but that's all the books I got for this video. I'm gonna get better at making videos like this, but I'm just gonna keep trial and error. We're gonna keep making them. All right, guys. I'll see you later.